the way I see it, Scott came up with the name, I came up with the dance. So, the way you gotta look at it is, he said a couple words at the spur of the moment. I actually created something that you can do. He did something that made a couple people laugh. I created something that can bring joy and sheer ecstasy to anyone who does it. I mean, if 10 people in the creation of this whole dance, if only 10 people ever do it besides me, then I brought joy to 10 people. Scott's words brought a couple laughs to just me and him. And if there's 6.4 billion people in the world, if 6.4 billion people, everyone in the world, learns to do this dance, then I have done something that makes the whole entire world happy. And that's awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a great feeling for me because it makes me, helps me realize how brilliant I am.
Mr. Venetia has declined to appear on this program, but upon learning what Poole has had to say on the matter, he submitted a reaction in writing. It says as follows. To whom it may concern, Steve Poole is a fucker. A stupid piece of shit fucker. The mere fact that he parades himself around like some pioneer over a dumb faggot-ass dance no straight person gives a flying fuck about is just simple proof as to what a total fuck he truly is. I don't care about his dumb douchebag dance. He can have that dumb shit, but the name is mine. And to act like this name was created by me, mind you, for the sole purpose to represent some loose-legged prickwad dance douche crap is just fucking absurd. The name was created by me to motherfucking describe the reaction Coach Eggers would have if somebody drove by screaming his name, he ran outside, and then recalled his dick was hanging out and swinging around. That's all. Fuck Stephen Poole. Yours truly, Scott Venetia. But Mr. Poole would not let things lie. Frustrated and thoroughly convinced Mr. Venetia was out to get him, Poole took things to court. Well, Poole had a strong case, including the fact that he'd put a patent on the term cross-country whack. His brash demeanor left him about even in the judge's eyes. Due to the celebrity exposure the trial most certainly would have provided, it was conducted in a closed courtroom. However, cameras were right outside the courtroom to pick up any audio they could. This is when Poole dropped a bombshell.
Oh yeah, Judge, well you know what? Fuck you!
Poole's comments shifted things in Venetia's favor, and the judge ruled in favor of him, telling Poole he must cease and desist in the use of the name cross-country whack. This meant the end of a chapter in dancing history. Surely nobody would continue dancing to the whack under a different name, or if it were nameless. Most obviously, Venetia had ruined Steve Poole's life. To this, Poole's response was to firebomb Mr. Venetia's home. It might have been a perfectly escapable crime. But when authorities went to question Poole, they discovered this home video of the fiery aftermath taken by Poole himself, in which he made several derogatory remarks against Mr. Venetia, as well as several times boasting on the film's soundtrack to having caused the fire himself. A foolish blunder. Steve Poole soon found himself at trial again, and on his way to prison for arson. His life now a shambles. Poole is currently serving out his lengthy sentence at the Origami Camel House Prison for Men. A broken man who only wants to be left alone to his own silence and malaise. He did recently grant one final interview to a local news station. It is shown here for the first time.
No, you see... Look, listen to me, okay? You see what they do to you? They put you in a room with all these pretty little leaves on the wall, with your pretty little skylight, and they make it like everything is okay. Well, let me tell you something, it's not. They want you to be blind. They want you to not be able to see what's right in front of your eyes. Look at me. I'm caged. It's like a man can't come up with his own inventions and just feel the pride of having that anymore. They'd rather slash your heart out with a jagged razor blade and cut your head off and put it on a stake and cast you out to sea. I don't see what I did that was so wrong. I just wanted to dance. Is that too much to ask? I just wanted to dance. And then they throw you into this charade, make it like every little thing you do is so horrible. And then they enslave you for the remainder of your life. I will not stand for this. For your pretty paper walls, and your pretty lights, and your fantasy ideals from the moment you're born to the day you die, that you live in a just and righteous world. I absolutely will never believe in anything like that again. Never, ever again. Turn the cameras off. Turn them off. I don't want to look at you anymore. My heart is broken. Can't you understand that? All I wanted to do was whack. I just wanted to whack.
With nothing left of the WACK's name, the dance has recently fallen into obscurity, like so many others, thus leaving nobody really to pick up its pieces. It's a wonder what this dance might have become. It's a wonder what Steve Poole might have become. A man who wanted nothing more than to dance and to be danced with will likely go down in history as nothing more than an unknown fecal smear on the history of modern dancing. But still we wonder, and we must continue to wonder what might have been. Certainly Steve Poole had high aspirations. We will leave you now with the optimistic and yet ill-fated words that he had to say, when hope still loomed large and where dreams felt like they were all coming true.
What do I want people to take away from the WACK? Just, you know, I mean, every now and then, there's always dances coming along, and a lot of them come, they're big for a while, and then they fade off when the generation changes or when the decade changes. You know, back in the 80s there was certain popular types of dancing. In the 90s it all changed, and now in the aughts, it's changing again. And, you know, just every couple of years, you know, something's going to become big, just like, you know, clothing, you know, and it circulates, it's a circle. You know, like clothing, the 70s clothing is kind of coming back in today's society 30 years later. It's sort of along those same lines. So I just want people to take away a sense of, you know, excitement, you know, a sense of agility. You know, I mean, if people, you know, you got these people that are going anorexic, or then people going the other way are getting fat, and, you know, they're paranoid. Oh, am I in this good a shape? Am I in that good a shape? What am I like? What am I like? Well, this is sort of, and this can kind of be telling to you if how you do the WACK can sort of describe how you are as a human being and what state your body's in. I mean, if you do it and then you collapse and start heaving and grabbing your chest, maybe it's time to put the donuts away and get back on the treadmill, you fat tub of lard. But, and I mean, if you can do the WACK and keep on doing the WACK for, you know, hours on end, that means you got the body of a freaking, you know, Olympic-style athlete. I mean, Scott, you know, he's an amazing track athlete. I bet you he can do the WACK all night long.